We have to sit here for 20 more seconds. I was just going to say, does anyone know a joke? You've got now 15 seconds to get to the punchline. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to those watching on the live stream. My name's Steve Kassar. I'm the Communications Manager for Simcoe Grey MPP Brian Saunderson. It's a pleasure to be back in beautiful Collingwood Town Hall for another terrific announcement for the riding. Before we get started, I'd like to invite Collingwood Mayor Yvonne Hamlin up for land acknowledgement. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. The town of Collingwood is located on the traditional and treaty territory of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation and the ancestral territory of many other Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the truth of our shared history and seek to learn and grow towards an improved future together.
Thank you, Mayor Hamlin. And now I'd like to introduce Parliamentary Assistant Steve Pinsonneau. Steve.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Steve, for that kind introduction. It is my pleasure to be here with you today. I'd like to thank everybody for being present on this bright, early first Friday in December. Quite a snowy ride in. I'd like to thank my wonderful caucus colleague, MPP Saunderson, and also Mayor Yvonne Hamlin for taking the time out of their busy schedules to be here today. I look forward to our continued partnership as we work to make our province's small towns a place for all people of Ontario to grow and succeed. I am so sorry. Our government is committed to growing rural Ontario and helping build strong communities. This is evident by the creation of the standalone Ministry of Rural Affairs. As our province grows, we know more places are going to be called home. We are making this possible. We see that our small towns will be places for everyone to live in. Keeping people. There is a desire for us to maintain and advance our government's devotion to the projects that touch on rehabilitation of culture, projects that better position rural communities, and projects that extend collaborative marketing and outreach. The Rural Economic Development Programs, or RED programs, does just that. The RED programs support projects that diversify and grow local economies, build community capacity, and address barriers to economic development and labor force challenges. We know the RED program has been successful across Ontario with renovations that will add value to communities, such as creating commercial spaces and where small businesses can operate on a flexible basis. We want small towns like Collingwood to be key hubs that Ontario families are attracted to. As our province grows, we know we need to support all small towns to reach their maximum potential. Since 2019, through the RED program, our government has prioritized funding 473 projects that spans over $27 million. The importance of prioritizing developing small towns is critical to the continued growth of Ontario. This year alone, the province is investing more than $5.7 million in cost share funding through this intake of RED program, which closed on February 21st, 2024. We have seen a 4-to-1 ratio of success with the RED program. Simply put, for every $1 our government provided, there are $4 worth of economic growth. Our government wants to steadily build small towns into powerhouses in their communities. The RED program is part of our government's commitment to ensure that rural Ontario remains competitive, successful now and in the future. I'm proud to be here today in Kawartha to share the good news from our government that will benefit the city and surrounding communities. Today, our government is announcing 2 exciting projects. The investment through the RED program are helping shape strong future for rural and Indigenous communities by helping boost economic growth and ensuring there are great places to live and do business. They are part of the government's commitment to create good jobs in Ontario and remove barriers to invest and growth in rural communities. We're ensuring rural Ontario continues to share the province's economic prosperity now and in the years to come. I will now pass it over to the regional champion, MPP Brian Sanderson, to share more on the project's details. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. MPP Pisaneau is actually one of our latest additions to our caucus, so it's wonderful to have Steve on side with us. He took over from Minister McNaughton. He's doing an incredible job, and welcome to the area. I know it was a 4.5-hour drive. We appreciate you making the journey down here for this important announcement. And it's wonderful to be here to see everyone today. It's a home game. It's not often I don't think I actually ever got to stand in front of this background when I was mayor. This is an upgrade. So it's fun to be in front of this today. And it's a very important announcement that we're making today with a $40,000 RED grant that will be used from matching funds, $40,000 matching funds from Collingwood Council to invest in CityView to expedite your planning processes. We know that we have a huge housing crisis in Ontario, that we need to get new homes built, and Collingwood has always been a destination of choice. So I know that the pressures are getting only stronger, and we need to get homes built, but not just getting homes built, we need to build the right types of homes. So there's a real opportunity for the province to collaborate with our municipalities to make sure that we get the homes built and we get the right types of homes built so that we can house all our residents in safe housing. And so this announcement is an important step in that journey. In fact, this RED program has been extremely beneficial for our riding. Since 2019, we've received about $520,000 over 14 projects, and this continues that trend. You have in Queen's Park a government that's quite prepared and very willing to work with our municipalities to ensure that we get the infrastructure in place, that we get the housing in place, the schools in place, and the hospitals in place. So stay tuned on that one. On the hospitals, because we have lots of work to do to make sure that we have a thriving population, not just in the GTA, but across Ontario. And I spent the last 3 days up in Northern Ontario, and when I'm in Toronto, they ask me where I'm from. I say I'm from Simcoe Grey, Collingwood, and they go, "Oh, you're Northern Ontario." And this week I was up in Kenora and Timmins, and I was talking with a woman, and she told me that she's the mayor, and I've lost the municipality, but she said, we're the geographic center of Ontario. And I asked her where they're located, and she said, we're 1.5 hours northeast from Kenora by plane. So Northern Ontario is not Collingwood, but we love to think we are here. But we have to be mindful of the entire province. And so this RED program is extremely critical in making sure that all our 444 municipalities, especially those north of Highway 89, have the funding and the tools they need to make sure that their communities thrive and prosper. And so it's wonderful to be here today to make this announcement on behalf of Minister Thompson. And again, thank you very much to PA Pisaneau for making the journey down here. And with that, I'll pass it over to you, Steve. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, MPP Saunderson. And now I'd like to recall Mayor Hamlin to the podium. Madam Mayor.
Well, it's of course my pleasure on behalf of our council, many of whom are here today, and some of our senior staff that are also here, and our community, to welcome PA Pisaneau and our MPP Saunderson to this wonderful announcement. As our MPP has indicated, this grant will help our community improve and expedite the approval process. We use CityView in Collingwood, and it is a system that allows for an electronic workflow and tracking system, okay, for land use planning, building applications, and other approvals, like the engineering approvals we do after the land use planning approvals. So this is going to help us right on the ground where we're doing the necessary work day to day for approvals. We're really hoping this will help expedite, as Brian's indicated this morning, our approval of housing. We have, of course, lots of spots in town we've pre-designated, ready to go, and also we're so looking forward to getting some more commercial and industrial. So for anyone out there listening who has those kind of lands, we are also open for business for those. So thank you again, PA Pisanol and our MPP, Ministry of Rural Affairs, and Steve for chairing us today.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and that concludes our brief program this morning. I'd like to thank you all for attending live, and I'd especially like to thank those who've tuned in on the feed this morning. Have a great day.